When I travel, I typically add crime as a point of interest at my destination. This is what I call crime travel. So along with museums, restaurants, and all the normal travel sites, I will also look for crimes or infamous criminals that might have been in the area. So I was traveling in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I decided to see if there were any serial killers or famous crimes in this river community. What I discovered were a couple of crimes committed by a serial killer named Joseph Paul Franklin. James Clayton Vaughn was his real name. He was born into a rough family in Mobile, Alabama, where he was subjected to extreme abuse, according to the defense testimony at his trial. It was also claimed that he was a borderline schizophrenic. Franklin claimed that he was racially motivated in his crimes and that he wanted to start a race war. He associated himself with KKK and neo-Nazi leaders and political action groups, and his crimes reflected his ideology. He traveled the country committing his crimes and in what appeared to be a self-imposed race war, which he funded with armed robbery. Here are a few of his crimes. In St. Louis, Missouri, he opened fire on a synagogue, killing Gerald Gordon and wounding others. He shot and killed Alphonse Madden Jr. and Tony Schwinn, who were an interracial couple in Madison, Wisconsin. In Salt Lake City, Utah, he shot and killed two black men, Ted Fields and David Martin. He confessed to shooting civil rights leader Vernon Jordan for dating a white woman and to shooting Larry Flynt, the publisher of Hustler magazine, for printing pictures of interracial couples. Flynt was left paralyzed by the shooting. However, Flynt pleaded for Franklin at his trial, saying that a government that forbids killing among its citizens should not be in the business of killing people itself. So that brings us to Chattanooga, where he shot an interracial couple to death in 1978 and blew a synagogue in 1977. I went to look at the synagogue, and it still sits there empty. It's off Bernard Street on Pittsburgh Avenue. It's a normal neighborhood and houses around and a hotel next door. I was not sure if I had the right place because it just looked like a very small church or office building, like someplace a dentist would practice. So we looked it up online and found an article that verified our location and what happened. On the night of July 29, 1977, the blast destroyed the building and blew holes in the wall of the hotel. No one was hurt. A few Jewish worshippers had been there earlier but had left because not enough people showed up to have a minyan for prayers. The bomb went off under the table where the skulls were red and the skulls were unharmed. It was considered a miracle to this day. The skulls are still used once a year in the congregation's new location. The hotels around the empty, rebuilt synagogue are what appeared to be a location for long-term, low-income youths. There was no sign of what happened here on that night. Franklin was captured on October 28, 1980, and there are several trials in different states where he had committed crimes. He confessed to bombing in Chattanooga, which brought closure to the congregation there. He was sentenced to death in St. Louis, Missouri for the synagogue shooting where Gordon was killed. Franklin was credited with killing 8 to 20 people in his life. He was put to death on November 20, 2013 in Boone Terre, Missouri by lethal injection. His execution was almost halted when a drug manufacturer in Europe refused to allow the drug to be used in execution. But Missouri decided to try to have a new system, and Franklin was the first to receive it. While locked up, he said, "I saw there were people just like us," in reference to the black he had met in prison. To me, Franklin doesn't seem to fit the normal description of a serial killer. He was not a John Wayne Gacy or Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer type. But this shows that the thing that causes people to become serial killers can manifest in various ways, perhaps determined by the personality, upbringing, or environment of the killer. It makes us wonder what that thing is that makes a killer. Abuse, genetics, environment, mental illness, demons, or maybe a combination of all these things. A perfect storm, or can anyone become a killer?